Hello, this is Sir Atheist. I'm taking Brett Keane's Atheist Challenge. I love a good challenge. So let's begin. Would I prefer, question one, would I prefer that there is a God or not? Well, it depends on the God, obviously. If it's some sort of a benevolent father figure that would help humanity along in its progress, then sure, why not? But if it's something like the New Testament God, no way. Question number two, if God required service, would I do it? Not necessarily, not automatically. I would need to know why I would have to do that, who would benefit from that, how, what reason would there be for this action or service. I would not automatically obey an omnipotent being just because the being is omnipotent. Question three, whose life is more valuable? A 5-year-old child or a 50-year-old woman? I don't know why it has to be a woman. It can just be any person. In terms of value of life, I assign equal value as far as that is concerned to every human being that has been born. So after birth, everyone's life is worth equally, in my opinion. In terms of a Sophie's Choice type of question, you know, which one would I save if I had only time to save one person inside a burning building? I would save the 5-year-old, of course, because the 5-year-old has much more to live, but that's really not a 100% rule. I wouldn't save a 15-year-old over a 20-year-old necessarily. I mean, such a criteria would only be relevant when there was a drastic age difference. Question number four, what would it take for me to be a believer in God? Well, in my opinion, an omnipotent being that really wanted people to believe in him or her, I'm going to use him from now on, would be able to do that very easily without hurting anyone. I mean, you know, just jog your imagination up. There are thousands of ways. Turn the sky green or whatever. One could never rule out a hyper-intelligent, hyper-advanced civilization doing that instead of an omnipotent being, but if the stuff this omnipotent being did coincided with one of the world's major religions, I would not be unreasonable in terms of accepting the reality of that omnipotent being. Of course, I would not accept it unconditionally, just like I don't accept any fact unconditionally for all eternity. But I would make that the dominant theory of the universe from that point on. Question 5. Have I done anything that could be defined as altruistic? Well, do you count the fact that I feel good after doing a good deed altruistic or not? If you count that if the only thing I gained from something were good feelings as a result of helping that person, and you count that as not being altruistic, then no, I've never done anything altruistic. But if you count that as being altruistic without any other gain whatsoever, then I've done plenty of altruistic things. If there was a pill that would make me immortal, would I take it or not? That's question number 6. I haven't been numbering these questions. If there was a pill that gave me 1,000 or several thousand years of life, I would take it like this. However, immortality is a much longer time period than a few thousand years, so I would have to say no. If there was a hell, would you send a 2-year-old to hell instead of you? I know how people usually answer this question. Everyone automatically says, no, I would go to hell. But they're not really imagining infinite torture while they're actually answering that question. They never really process the question. So I actually tried to imagine infinite torture, and first I was like, hell no, I would not want to go to an eternal hell. But then immediately I imagined the guilt I would feel, and then I said, no way. I'm not sending anyone else to hell to be in the heaven of some sadistic god. So I took a slightly longer route at reaching the conclusion that almost everyone basically reached. Okay, I'm gonna stop here and do part 2.